Our next speaker is a geospatial industry evangelist and has been awarded the only Geospatial Ambassador Award by the United Nations. He is the founder and CEO of Geospatial Media and Communications, as well as the World Geospatial Industry Consortium. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sanjay Kumar, who would be sharing his thoughts on India geospatial policy guidelines, boosting economy, advancing self-reliance, and co-ownership of national ambition. Over to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Megha, and very good afternoon to everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Very clearly.
Great. So, first of all, thank you, Megha, for inviting me for this occasion. It's a great occasion, and I really feel very happy, proud, as well as a sense of, liberation about this technology and the value of this technology. But before I get into my talk about what's happening with the geospatial guidelines, I would like to just share a couple of my things that we as the society and economy at this stage is so much driven by geospatial knowledge. I've been in this industry for almost 23 years, which is quite a lot. You could call me as a dead wood. But the fact of the matter is that I've seen the transformation of map to data, data to innovation, innovation to economy, and economy to way of life. And that's what is the kind of value chain of geospatial knowledge. If you look at that whole journey from map to way of life, you'll be surprised that, and if you just look at yourself, that today you go and search yourself, not on google.com, you search on maps.google.com, because your phone knows where you are and you want to know what you need nearby. That's the kind of utility this brings to you. And I'd like to just say that, a classic example about 2 years back, there was some disruption on GNSS services in UK. And recently the report came out and they estimated that in 5 days of disruption of GNSS services, UK lost 5 billion pounds of worth economy, and 3.7 billion pounds of that were lost into utilities. Utilities which we actually consume in the form of water, electricity every day. And that's the kind of value this technology brings to our life. So why I use the term of being liberated, because of the fact that now we have the opportunity to basically use that information for improving our quality of life. So we know the experience of losing, but we don't know yet the experience of gaining. And that experience of gaining, that's where this geospatial policy comes as a very candid and very forward-looking approach. But before I get into this whole impact of this technology or this policy, I want to acknowledge and I want to just share that, nothing happens in a day one. It happens over a period of time. It goes through a process of socialization, interactivity, deliberations, conflicts, and then bringing the synergies together to move forward. I would like to take the occasion today to congratulate, appreciate, and acknowledge the efforts made by our friends in the community, like Dr. Ramamurthy, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, Dr. Kiran Kumar, our PSA, Professor Ashutosh. There were many people who have actually worked with the objective to make this technology happen. I want to acknowledge and appreciate their efforts in the process of making aware to the government about this knowledge. And I want to again say this, that recently I read a column by one of very intelligent person in the world who talked about that we are in the third wave of democratization of geospatial knowledge. And he said that the third wave of democratization of geospatial knowledge is driven by the public sector, is driven by the governments. And that's what we have seen around the world, that the governments around the world have looked at considerably changing their attitude towards appreciating and acknowledging the value of geospatial knowledge around the COVID. And they found it very useful. They found it very critical. They found it very handy. And they found it at the same time most important to how to address this whole problem. We are in the age of a knowledge economy, and the knowledge starts with data, and the data, one of the foundations of the data is geospatial data. So that's the kind of backdrop I wanted to set. And if you look at trends in last 12 months, be it Apple, of course, Google has been a leading player in this field earlier, but be it Apple, Salesforce, SAP, Amazon, Intel, name a big IT company if they did not announce their geospatial division. They did announce their geospatial division, not with the intent to serve the geospatial as a solution, but with the intent to make use of this technology, embed this technology. And these are big companies. They want to make use of the technology, then they will set up the new divisions because their consumption of the technology is too huge. And that's the place where we are in. Today, we talk of digitalization of constructions. Yes, the whole value chain of construction where the stimulus is going to be invested in is driven by the GeoBIM technology. So today, I must say that this is, if not today, we should not be in the business, because if this whole technology liberation was not done, and that's what I want to say, that it's something which is the way of life. I want to also credit our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, who actually took a keen interest in listening, understanding, and driving a policy which was absolutely impossible if that was not a political will demonstrated by the Prime Minister. Because we have to get out of this colonial mindset. In the colonial mindset, we were believing in restricting in the co-ownership of building a nation. We have to trust our citizens. That's the major difference. And I think our Prime Minister has demonstrated the trust in our citizens. And that's how he made and he guided a policy which is much beyond expectations of us. And why we are expecting less? Because we have a historical evidence of seeing how closely guarded this industry was. So I want to acknowledge and I want to compliment our Prime Minister for really exemplary leadership. That's exemplary leadership, That's what he has done to our country. And I think this, after having gone through this report, these guidelines, I can only say that, there's no scope for asking for more. Now, looking at what it actually talks about, I think that the most important thing which it talks about is the sentiment of the nation. Sentiment of the nation is to move forward. Sentiment of the nation is to boost our economy. And this is what is going to happen with this. On the one side, where we see that the geospatial market itself is going to take a tremendous benefit out of this. But if the geospatial market grows, say by 20%, making say about $1 billion or $2 in its on market growth, but its incremental value in the form of adding efficiency, transparency, and effectiveness to the various national programs is going to be phenomenal. The phenomenal to the extent that it might push almost 2% of the growth of the GDP. And that's the kind of economic boost which we are looking at this, policy reform. And this policy reform is also a kind of indication that the government of India is looking at technology with an open mind, not looking at technology with a restrictive mind. So I want to say that this is going to boost our economy. We might see almost 100,000 crores economy in next 5 to 7 years. But its incremental value will be much more than that. So it will boost the economy. It will boost the startup. It will boost all those industries which are going to be running on the knowledge. And the knowledge built on the data. What else is going to talk about is, and what is very important, and I would like to say that it's a very positive statement to talk about advancing self-reliance. Some may think that it is kind of being restrictive. No. Self-reliance, who knows better than self-reliance in the times of COVID? We have seen, blocks, sectors, districts being restricted. You cannot move to another sector, another community. You have seen that, hospitals in this community is just, or this geography is only meant for these people. That's what is nothing but self-reliance. Self-reliance is something that in times of crisis, we can be on our own. And there is no harm in talking about self-reliance. That's the most important value which you can attain to ourselves. And that's where I think this policy talks about self-reliance, wherein mission critical projects, and we all know that geospatial has an attribute of security sensitivity, wherein we are looking at large scale sensitive data to be stored, collected, stored, processed, and used in India by Indian entities, majorly controlled by Indian entities. But what is important is that we can use all the best technologies available in the world. Fair enough. We are not restrictive. We are talking about making use of the best of the technology around the world and empowering, nurturing, and developing our own capacity, our own industry, which can be a partner of our growth. And that's where I think the self-reliance is so critically important. And moving forward, I would like to say that this is the way the preamble is written, our national ambition, and recognizing the fact that geospatial is one of the critical tools for achieving our national ambition, as well as conveying that you can certify and self-certify is the kind of trust which the government puts into citizens and the industry. That trust is an indication of co-ownership of our ambition. Our ambition is to be developed. Our ambition is to progress. Our ambition is to make difference. Our ambition is to help ourselves. And that's where I think the government has very categorically talked about that we trust you. And that trust and that welcome approach is phenomenal. I would like to say that I travel so much. I work with so many countries, and especially in the developing countries. I would attribute that, and I have already got a lot of feelers from several in the world, that this is a very exemplary leadership. Exemplary leadership where the political will actually showed the way you can leap forward. You can actually take the second mover advantage. You can take the, you can just break the legacy overnight, and you can bring future together. And what this policy talks about is that we trust our young generation. We trust and we build our country for the next generation. And I think this is just phenomenal. Last point, which I wanted to say that, it takes time for evangelism. It's not a day of affair. It's not a year affair. It takes decades. And that's how the whole social system is. I would like to convey to my fellow colleagues in the industry and citizens that this is the time when the government has trusted you. It's a very open, responsible, and nurturing policy. Let's take advantage of this. Let's rise to the occasion. Work with the best in the world. Deliver what is best in the interest of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjay. Very, very insightful. And as usual, the way you present and structure your thoughts is really interesting to hear.